Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About It, a discussion with school student support staff. We are hoping our conversation today will answer and provide information about the various services available to support students and their families here in Shelby County Schools. I am Dr. Ashley Johnson, a licensed school social worker with Shelby County Schools Mental Health Center, and I am joined here today by Mental Health Center and school counseling staff, as well as a representative from Shelby County School Parent Ambassadors and Shelby County Schools Behavior Specialists. We have received some questions from the Shelby County School parents, and we would like to take some time to address them here today. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Alicia Hall, and I am a representative from Shelby County Schools Parent Ambassadors.
Hey, I'm Heather O'Hara, and I'm a school counselor at Newcomer International Center.
Hi, I'm Bernice Jones. I'm the RTI Square B District Support Specialist.
Hello, my name is Beverly Lee, and I'm a school social worker.
Hello, my name is Anita Reinhouse, and I'm a school psychologist.
Great for you all to be here today. We have received some questions from the Shelby County School parents, and we would like to take some time to address them here today. Let's get into some questions.
All right, our first question is, what are some signs of depression in children?
It's a great question.
Well, some signs of depression in children can be extreme disobedience or aggression. Can be some signs will be irritability, feeling sad or hopelessness, and or maybe becoming withdrawn. You know, changes in your daily routine, as well as you may see some sleep disturbances. You're not being able to sleep at night.
And I do want to add to that, thank you, Ms. Anita, that depression is treatable. And if you do have a concern as a parent, contact someone. It's not to say that yes, your child definitely has depression, but at least you are concerned as a parent. And Shelby County Schools Mental Health Center, we are here for parents. It's a team effort.
And to pick up on that, just for parents who may have kids in certain age ranges, what are some differences that you might see between preteens and teens with signs of depression?
Well, I basically, at this point in time, am working mostly with elementary students. And so some of my elementary students definitely, they display some of the anger, some of the disobedience. Sometimes they're more withdrawn, they're more introverted, some acting out. And so what I say to parents is that you know your child. And if you see some changes in their behavior, have a conversation with your child first. You do not have to be the expert, but you talk with your child, and if they're saying or doing things that's like an alarm or a red flag, contact the school counselor, contact mental health center, and we can talk about it. We can discuss it, and we'll go from there.
Okay, great. Any other?
No, that's great.
Okay, okay.
Well, you just kind of led into our next question.
Right.
So where do the teens go for help?
I think it's important that every teenager has a trusted adult in their life that they feel comfortable with, that person's earned the right to be heard and speak into their life. And so whether that's a teacher, a lot of our students really trust our bilingual mentor at our school because you know, a lot of our students are learning English for the first time, and so the fact that they have that healthy relationship and they trust their teachers and their bilingual mentors and their counselors to advocate for them, I think that's important for any teenager.
Yes, I agree with you. A trusted adult is so important in navigating this emotional landscape. You know, that is important as well, you know, because mental health work closely with the school counselors. And most times we do find that the students will come to the school counselors with some emotional concerns, and we collaborate with you to find the best alternative for that student.
And even to piggyback on like with the behaviors and the disturbances or disruptive behavior in classrooms, working with the behavior specialist, maybe you can speak on as far as like how you play a part in with the school and helping the collaboration with the school counselors and the school social workers on implementing some type of strategy to help address students with
So I know we do a
depression.
lot with the MTSS, the multi-tier support system that we have, and so depending on what we get in as far as our referrals, if we see a student, if a counselor has a huge caseload, so to say, and they say, hey, Ms. Jones, I need you to speak to this student. Their behavior is kind of like out of sort. Do you need to talk to them? It's a check-in, check-out type of system.
Right.
And we do that particularly once a week, twice a week, depending on the severity of their behavior and what the school actually sees, then we do that. So we do build those relationships, and we just meet them where they are,
Right.
that type of thing.
And I think that's great for the parents to hear that there's a lot of hands-on in the school setting to help support students and their children when they come to school, especially in this time.
Right.
So I think,
Yes,
so I think we're
yes.
ready for the next question.
Okay, again, every conversation leads into the next question. So what does SCS do for children with mental health issues?
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like to start off with that one. So we are a licensed mental health center for over 50 years in Shelby County schools. And like we were saying, we are all licensed professional. Each school is assigned a school social worker. Well, let me say, each school is assigned a mental health clinician. And that clinician is either a licensed school social worker, or a licensed school psychologist. And we do work closely with the school counselors. But we are here for students. And so, yes, we do what we can to help students. We're going to first contact parents, get parents' consent. We're going to talk to the parents, get an idea of what some of the presenting problems. We're going to talk with the students. But first, we're going to try to establish a rapport with the student, especially when working with our middle and high schoolers. If they don't feel that they can talk to us or feel comfortable, they're not going to open up and share what is going on. And then it's a team effort. We're working with all these collaborators here, and parents, we are working with you. We want your child to be successful so that they can pass to the next grade, so that they can graduate, go to secondary education, and become a productive citizen here in Shelby County.
Miss Lee, and that's what it's all about. You know, we're all in this together and helping these students become productive citizens. And as well with that, we do, as you said, provide services to parents and students. But as well too with the high school students, if they do desire therapy, they can provide consent for themselves. In the state of Tennessee, when you reach the age of 16, you can give consent for yourself. I also like to add that we also make the parents aware, though, that we are providing services to the student. Now, the parent will not, have knowledge of what's going on in session if the student, is not inclined to share that. But we will notify the parents, make the parents aware that your student is receiving services with Shelby County Schools Mental Health Center.
I think it really is important too to have that close working relationship between the school counselor and the school psychologist or school social worker, whoever you've been assigned to, because a lot of times they're not in our building every day, and so it's good for the school counselor to give them a heads up and kind of let them know, like, hey, I'm going to refer this student to you, and then follow the proper procedures to get them the services that they need.
Right.
And as well too, when you have that type of connection and support system, I think the students feel it as well. And so when they really feel that they need to talk to someone, they know who to come to.
Right. Exactly.
Next question.
Great conversation, ladies.
Yes.
Our next question is, how much does it cost for counseling?
Actually, with Shelby County Schools Mental Health Center, counseling is free and accessible to the students and the families and parents. As clinicians, we provide family therapy if need be, to kind of just bring the family unit together to give them support so the child is still academically successful, socially successful in all aspects. So we work as any other therapist. We're just connected with the school.
Love it.
Yeah.
And it is, and as Dr. Johnson was saying, and it's totally confidential, just like with any other mental health center, it's totally confidential and it's free of charge. And during the initial process, we do review the rights and clients and responsibilities and all of that. So just like a mental health center.
Great. Okay. Is there a hotline? If so, what is that number and is it available?
Yes, we do have a social emotional learning line, SEL line, that operates Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, and the number is 416-8484.
And it is manned, or when you call that number, you will talk with someone like Miss Anita or Miss Beverly. So school social workers and school psychologists actually answer that call, and we're right there to give on-the-spot live consultation with whomever is calling. And I say whomever because it could be a parent, student, guardian.
Yep.
All right, our last question for today. How do parents know if their children are having a hard time with COVID adjustments versus really having a mental health issue?
That's a
good
good
one.
question.
That's
Yeah.
a great question.
I think with just everything that has happened with COVID, and it came in a time where there was a lot of social justice issues happening, that I think it highlighted a lot of things in people, children and adults, as far as having some mental health issues and concerns. So I think it just highlighted some help, because even like having anxiety, being just overwhelmed with things is a mental health issue and a concern. And so I think COVID kind of heightened that in people, and I think now it's just, we need to provide the support to the students coming back into the buildings, and to the teachers and to the parents as well, of knowing that as a school, we're here to help you and support you through this time.
And I would like to also add, talk. I love to say communication is opens the door for so many things. Just have that conversation with your child to see what's going on and see how long they've been feeling like this, and that will give you a lot of information. You find out a lot of times students just want that listening ear. They just want somebody to know that you're invested in me, that you care, and they will most of the time tell you what's going on with them.
And I would like to share, though, whether it is COVID or whether it's a mental health issue, we're still here for the parents and the students, because COVID is real.
Yes.
I mean, all of us here, we've been affected by COVID. And so it could be a support group. It could be whatever that child needs, because things are not normal for them right now. Usually the social interaction with their peers is kind of like food, water. They need that. They want it, but it's almost like they're needed, and it's been missing in many cases. So sometimes just to have, like you were saying, a listening ear, a support group where the students can talk about it and share their feelings and emotion, it can be very, very helpful for the students.
Yes, and it'd be also probably comforting for them to know that I'm not the only one that's feeling like this,
Exactly.
COVID definitely shook things up for everyone.
And I think also having a restorative circle for kids who are having the same type of background, and it affected in the same way. And it's like, hey, well, my peers had the same thing. You had someone that, was similar to my situation, and that can create a bond, and that can be rewarding for the school itself as well.
Exactly.
I think ultimately, too, remembering as educated as this team is, the parent is the expert. Keep an eye on your kid, and if you saw what their patterns, and they were acting like pre-COVID, and you've noticed changes in small things, like from the signs that we described earlier, and those changes are occurring, it's okay to not be okay, but let's work towards getting those resources and help to help carry you through this.
Good point. Very good point.
And I think based on what everyone just said, that reminds me of it takes a village. So with the parents, the teachers, the school administration, the counselors, it takes a village to make sure that that child is whole, whatever that whole looks like. And I greatly appreciate everything that you all have said, and I hope that the parents get exactly what they need out of this, and know that there is help not only for their child but for them as well.
Exactly.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So that's all the time that we have today. A great discussion. Greatly appreciate you all joining today. Again, parents, if you want to talk, please call our SEL line at 901-416-8484, and let's talk about it.